I just feel like if you're constantly waiting for things to change, if you're constantly waiting for your life or, certain things in your external environment to be a certain way to allow yourself to be happy, then girl, you're always going to be suffering because there's always going to be something going on. There's always going to be something that can be improved. Trust and really truly learn to believe that everything is happening to you the way that it should be. I think that in today's society, we're so conditioned to think that happiness exists once we hit a certain goalpost or once we achieve a certain thing. And a lot of us are waiting to reach a certain point until we want to allow ourselves to be happy. It's very much just conditioned into us. It's a product of living in a society where we are taught that our worth comes from how much we're achieving. I talk about this quite a lot on my channel, but in today's video, I really specifically want to talk about how you yourself can start enjoying life now while you're working on building your dream life. And I'm a very, very, very big believer in the fact that once you start putting yourself in this frequency of having fun and enjoying life in this given moment, it makes getting to where you want to be a lot easier because you're operating out of the frequency of gratitude and just having fun and seeing life as a journey versus waiting for something good to happen to you so that you can then start being happy. That's something that for me personally, I've kind of struggled with. I've achieved, and I'm not saying this to brag at all, I'm just saying this to be very, very real with you guys. Like, I achieved a lot of goals that I wanted to achieve at a very young age. And although it was extremely satisfying and rewarding, I will say also at the same time, it started to show me that like you can achieve things and get to a certain point, but you will never be happy until you learn how to have fun with life in this given moment. Because if you're the kind of person who is very high achieving and you want a lot out of your life, it can be very, very easy to put yourself in a place where once you achieve something, you're then already on to the next thing, right? Because you want so much out of your life. You want to constantly be growing and up leveling and evolving. And I get it. Trust me. Like, I think that's an amazing mindset to have if you do want to manifest and just achieve a lot and do a lot. But at the same time, I think that that can cause so much suffering. Like, you can have so many physical things. You can have all the things in the world. You can have all the money in the world. You can actually end up suffering a lot if you don't learn how to see life in a positive way. I'm telling you, there's always going to be an up, there's always going to be a down. Life is constantly throwing things at us. Like, if you guys watch my vlogs, you guys know I have not been going through the easiest time. Since moving to New York City, I've been going through so many crazy things. Girl, I be going through it. Like, if y'all watch my vlogs, y'all know. But one thing about me that I really can appreciate about myself is that no matter what is going on in my life, I am very, very good at laughing at whatever it is that life throws at me and turning it somehow, some way, turning it into something positive, turning it into something that benefits me. If you can learn how to do this, if you can learn how to alchemize things, you become a master manifester, right? You can learn how to make anything that happens to you in your life and turn it into something positive. And so I really, really want to share with you guys the key things that have been helpful for me in learning how to do this. And I'm hopefully can help you guys as well. First thing that I think is really important if you're trying to do this is to, one, trust and really truly learn to believe that everything is happening to you the way that it should be. And I think this is a little bit more helpful if you do have some sort of faith. So maybe, whatever your religion is, or maybe you're just a spiritual person and you believe in a higher power. I personally believe that there is a higher power that is out here guiding things. And I'm of the belief that God is not someone who is like, malicious. Like, I don't believe that there's a God out there who is trying to punish me or is waiting for me to mess up or is waiting for me to slip up or whatever so that I can learn a hard lesson and I can have a life filled with suffering. Like, I am not of that belief. I believe that whatever higher power is out there wants the best for me. And so even when things seem to not be going my way, I just have this core belief within me that everything is happening the way it should be. So even when I'm going through things that may seem challenging or hard, or if life is not moving as quickly as I want it to move, or if I'm not manifesting the things in my life as quickly as I'd like to manifest them, then there is a reason behind that, right? There's a lesson to be learned. There is something that eventually when I get to my future self, when I get to whatever age, right, I'm going to be looking back at this version of myself and I'm going to be like, wow, I'm so glad that I went through that. I'm so glad that I got that really bad haircut when I was in New York and I was crying about it and I vlogged it. And I shared that experience. I'm so glad that my channel got deleted for that 1 week because it taught me, like, I can even tell you, just even in the past week, me getting my channel deleted for a week and not knowing if I was going to get it back, that taught me so much. And it's hard for me to say that now because it hasn't been that long since it happened, but I know that there's going to be a version of me just even in a few years that's going to look back on that experience and is going to be like, wow, I'm so glad that I went through that because it taught me just how important this channel is to me. And it also showed me how much of a support system I have, right? And so trusting that anything that's happening to you, again, whatever life throws at you is happening for your benefit. And even if you don't believe it, maybe just saying it, maybe journal it. I'm very big on like I have a lot of moments where I'm like, why the fuck is this happening to me? But I'll go and journal about it. I'll acknowledge how I'm feeling and maybe the sadness or the anger or whatever negative emotion I'm experiencing in that moment, I will acknowledge it and I will journal about it. But then I will eventually say, okay, I trust that this is happening for a reason. And I trust that things are going to work out the way that they should. So even if I don't believe it in that moment, when you trust and when you just say and repeat, knowing that your words have so much power, when you say that this is happening for my benefit, it's already going to start kind of putting that in motion. It's already going to start putting you, again, even if you don't feel it in the moment, it's going to start putting you in that frequency of trusting that things are going to work out the way that they should. And I think it's really, really important that you truly believe that you are destined for a happy ending. Like, I picture my life, honestly, truly as a movie. Like, that's already kind of been planned out. So honestly, truly, for me, laughter is the best medicine. So it may not be the best thing, but like I kind of will be the kind of, I will laugh at something even like while something is going wrong. And it's just because I really truly feel like I'm in a movie. Like, I feel like my life is genuinely like a movie. And I feel like when something bad is happening or something crazy is happening, and I feel like I see people like tweet this like all the time. It's like, I feel like there's like a camera somewhere and I'm like looking at the camera and I'm just like, this is hilarious. I know, like, I genuinely believe that I am destined for a happy ending. Like, imagining if you watch your favorite movie or favorite TV show, there is going to be some scenes or some time periods where things are going wrong, but you can trust and truly believe that the writers do have it in their best interest to give you some sort of happy ending. And I'm personally of the belief that, like, whatever you believe your life is supposed to be like is going to be what it's like. So if you believe that, okay, life always sucks and nothing ever works out for me and this, then that's going to be the life that the universe grants you because that's what you've already aligned to, right? So if you start believing, okay, everything is working out for me the way that it should, even in the moment, even when things are going wrong and even when it doesn't really actually feel like it, or, you know, it's taking a while for you to start seeing the results that you want, if you start saying positive things about it, eventually life is going to align to that reality because you believe it to be true. And that's just kind of like the core principle of the law of attraction. I have more videos on that. So if you guys want to see some specific manifestation techniques or just the ways in which I have been able to kind of manifest certain things in my life and start getting into that frequency of believing that good things are happening to me, I will leave a link to those videos somewhere on the screen so you guys can go check those out and kind of dive deeper into that topic. The second thing that I think is really, really important is to have an open mind. Again, when you look at your life as a movie, I think a lot of us can be attached to a specific storyline that we think our life is supposed to follow. Maybe at a certain age, you start believing that you're supposed to be working in this field and you're supposed to be married by this age and your family is going to look like this and things are going to go this way. And then life starts happening and things don't go exactly that way. And you're like, wait a second, what's going on? For a lot of people, that can cause this suffering because you were so attached to a specific timeline or to a specific outcome. Having an open mind and being open to your plans changing, to your beliefs changing, I think makes life a lot more enjoyable. When you recognize that at a certain age, you only knew so much about the world. A lot of us are programmed and conditioned to believe that we want certain things, but as we get older, we begin to unlearn a lot of these truths and a lot of, even like what our parents teach us, we begin unlearning these things and we begin to actually see ourselves for who we really are, right? If you're doing that inner work. And so as you learn more about yourself and as you actually experience the world for yourself, you may begin to realize that there's a lot of things that you just don't actually know. Like if you grew up in especially like a religious household, like you believe that things are just set in stone a certain way, but you may begin to realize like if you travel and talk to different people who have different perspectives on the world, you may begin to realize that like all things can kind of be true. Like all beliefs about the world can kind of be valid in some way. And there may be certain beliefs that you subscribe to more than others. But the more open-minded you can be to different perspectives on the world, I think the more enjoyable the world can be, because you begin to realize you don't have to. I think that you're almost like living more in fear if you're super attached to a certain, again, idea or perspective, or even just the way in which you think your life should go. More that you open yourself up to different perspectives, different kinds of people, different experiences in this life, personally, I just think the more fun life becomes. So I really, really, really encourage you, ask yourself, like in this next season that you're entering, how can you be more open-minded to certain things in your life? What are things that you used to have a very tight grip on in terms of your belief? How can you maybe challenge yourself to see the world in a different way, right? Or what is something in your life that you were really, really certain was supposed to go a certain way that maybe didn't go the way that you had planned? And how can you maybe like change your perspective on that thing? I just encourage you to kind of take some time and really, really, really study that and really understand that, just so that you can kind of like look at life from I think it just makes life a lot more fun and enjoyable when you kind of look at things from different angles. That kind of brings me to my next point, which is to be open to different things, but also to honor your inner child. And this is something that I've definitely been learning as I've been getting older, is extremely important. Like as you get older and become an adult, I feel like it's very, very easy for the world to kind of like harden you. You have to be very, very intentional about making sure that you're living a life that you are actually enjoying and having fun with. And I think a part of that is honoring the inner child that exists within you and recognizing that you have to kind of give yourself experiences and things to be excited about, especially if you're working a job that you don't really enjoy and you're spending so many hours of your day doing something that doesn't actually fulfill you. You have to be extremely intentional about making time to honor and to kind of give your inner child the things that it needs. For me personally, I think one way to do this is to spend money on experiences versus things. You don't really have to even spend a lot of money to kind of do this, right? What are some hobbies that you can get into? What are ways that you can socialize with other people or get involved in your community? I think for me, traveling is one really, really big thing that I will always say. Like, I would rather spend thousands of dollars on a trip than I would like a new bag. Like, I'm sorry, like I just think that I'm gonna get so much more out of it. I think that when you're spending your money on experiences, again, versus just things, I think life is just a lot more satisfying. I think that you enjoy life a lot more. When you're looking at like your vision board, for example, if there's a lot of things on there, that's amazing. Like I'm a big believer in manifest whatever it is that you want out of this world. Like you can manifest anything, really, truly, but ask yourself, how can you start maybe focusing more on cultivating experiences versus just trying to collect things? Because I'm telling you, when you're just focused on things, there's always going to be something new out there that you're going to want next. My last kind of tip is to stop rushing. And this is coming from like one of the most impatient people in the entire world. I am telling you, whatever it is that you want out of life, like when you're trying to build your dream life, I know that we want the things as quickly as possible. We want to manifest as quickly as we can, but I'm telling you, and I say this probably in every single video, but I will say it again in this one, you have to learn to enjoy the journey. And I think that social media has really kind of messed us up when it comes to this, because we see people who are extremely young and successful, and we think that like there's something wrong with us if we are not also as successful at a really young age. But I'm just telling you, like at the end of the day, that's just not the norm. Like that's not how life actually works for most people. There's this quote from this book that I resonate with so much, and it says something along the lines of like, the only thing that you really learn from being successful young or early or something is that none of it actually mattered. And I'm telling you, it's so true. Like there are so many people who are extremely successful from such a young age. A lot of people like that deal with mental health issues because it's not normal, right? That's not the norm for life. And that's not the way that for most people life is set up. If you're on a journey of building your dream life, just recognize that like whatever stage you are in, even if it feels like things are taking a bit longer or whatever, just recognize that like it's okay. Enjoy the journey of it. Focus on just being present in this stage of your journey. Don't rush it. There is going to be a future version of you that looks back at the current you and is going to be so grateful that you are experiencing what you are experiencing right now. So just look at life as a game, again, as a movie, however you want to look at it. I see it kind of like as a game. And I also think that being like in an environment that really kind of matches your energy does help with this. So I think that for me, coming to New York really helped me with this, just because New York is like kind of like already on that kind of vibe where not that nothing feels real, but it's like everybody's like so in their own world and there's so much going on that it's easier for me to kind of like, I don't know, it's just easier to like look at life as like a game. But I just really encourage you, wherever you're at in your life, like kind of picture yourself as like a sim, picture yourself as like a movie character or whatever you want to do. And just recognize that whatever it is that you're going through right now, whatever phase you're in your journey is a beneficial one, and learn to see yourself as the main character of your life and stop focusing so much on what other people are doing. Because I'm telling you, you will have so much more fun on this journey. And as again, you're trying to build your dream life, it's going to be so much easier to manifest the things that you want out of it because you're being present in this journey and you're able to be in a state of gratitude for whatever it is that's happening. So hope that was helpful in some way, you guys. Let me know in the comments down below if any of this resonated with you. Let me know also how you guys are doing. How is the start of your week going? What season do you feel like you're in your life right now? Because I feel like for me, I don't know, I feel myself entering like a new season of just refreshed energy and like looking at life through like a fresher lens. I don't know, I'm just excited to experience whatever's coming next in this season of life for me. So yeah, I love you guys so much. Again, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.